Okay. Um, as you can see here, uh, I've I've always known what these people involved in this program, where they how they trick themselves into involving themselves and dumbing themselves down. A lot of interaction I have as a target individual is sound like children. And I understand why they would want to involve children in participating in this. First of all, this shows the level of sophistication of this technology. That truly child or children can be easily involved in, because that's how sophisticated this technology is. Seems like they know what to say, when to say it, and and it's part of this ability to a bit I guess manipulate, if not even manipulate, but able to instruct what this childlike individuals need to say. As you can see, when I was trying to speak, my brain just froze up for a second and I kept saying something that I wasn't trying to say. This is because they're taking over my brain and forcing me to say things. And this is what this technology is capable of doing. I know the reality of what this is about, right? This is about the development of technology that can manipulate the brain, right? And you have people that you'll see here in this. I'm going to go into the laundromat, and you'll see a childlike individual, early teen. This is the kind of people who interact with me, and it's so disturbing because next to her, you'll see a father or somebody who looks like her father. This kid is so disturbing. The disturbing part there is, first of all, they know that this technology can manipulate people in these disgusting ways. They know that, right? And the children involved in this program know that. And so what they do is they want to be seen. The father is there, by the way. I just want to show how disgusting it is. They want to be seen because what's going to happen if I look at this kid? Matter of fact, I didn't see this kid till as I looked at the video, because I have a body cam. And when this kids want to be seen, I look away, but I know my body cam capture everything that's around me. So I know this is a kid because I see just a little small thing in a cart. And matter of fact, as I was walking by, going in, they were forcing me to get this perception of this kid in a sexual way, like she had like feminine attributes, which no, she's just like little kid. That's like, I know my brain is that manipulated. I don't even have to really see her for them to create any perceptions. But I'm looking away. But I know this video is blurred, but this kid was staring at me, wanting to be seen by me. She was like looking at me, staring at me, and smiling like, ugh. Because, and matter of fact, as I was looking at this video, I'm like, oh my gosh, this kid really was craving for me or wanting me to look at her so they can force me to get stimulation, which they did when I'm looking at this video. She was like looking, smiling. Then, also, then, I'm putting my stuff, my clothes in my bag, and I made a reality check saying in front of them, these people want me to look at them so they can do the peripheral type of torture in front of them. The father and the kid were next to me, and I wanted them to hear them. I pull up my phone and start speaking, and I know they were hearing me. Immediately then, that's when the embarrassment started. She started looking down, get on the phone, and say, "It's a well." Start saying the things that they say to me. Obviously, they have these tactics in this program to get you to think in ways that is falsifying reality. Obviously, I know this kid she's just utilized in that way. She's a contracted individual in a sense to do what they do. Now, I don't know if it's just purely financial incentive, but it doesn't even have to be financial incentive. Can you imagine being a program that can manipulate the brain? Do you understand the type of technology that you're involved in? You're in the loop in, like, that alone is an incentive. That alone can make anybody want to participate. That's why I know that it's not only based on money. There's people with money involved in this because they are involving themselves in a program where you can manipulate a human being. So you can only imagine this kid being feeling very confident and empowered by this. You should see how she was looking at me and she's looking at. It's like I know you're just a little nothing in this program. But the nasty part is her father is next to her. And so they wanted me to look at this kid so they can force me to get stimulations. And then be like, oh, we caught that, and then they will look at their phone, right? To make it seem like, no, we're analyzing your reaction, and this is they can force men and women to have sexual reaction to children. This is a part of this breaking down tactics. It is disgusting, but that's what they do. It is disturbing. But the most disturbing part is they use people with this level of intellect to try to make you believe, no, what we're doing, we're analyzing you. We're not, they call it mapping. We're mapping. It's you. But these people don't even know who they are. Like when I went through this door and I saw this, can you imagine this kid has no idea who she is? And she's like, no, we're mapping you. It's you when you're... Disgustingness. But I'm thankful for that because it brings the reality more obvious. Can somebody like that, a child, can tell you, a 30-plus person, who you are? Of course not. At this point, what she's doing is to try to agitate me. But the most disgusting part is that, of course, there's grown men and women involved in this. Of course, they are the one guiding these children to do what they do. And to see a father next to her daughter, and the daughter just staring at me, smiling in this weird way, try to like, and knowingly that she's doing that so that when he look at her, they can make him experience sexual stimulation toward my own child. That shows how disgusting these people are. And those governmental entities, and you'll see at one point, I'm listening, I have my headphones on, so you don't see that part, but I'm listening to this bill that was passed in 2019 that was supposed or try or attempt to limit the amount of child porn. These governmental entities in the DOD specifically, which we obviously know at this point that is the DOD running this program. This child-like individual in the car, do you think I ever think, oh, this is her money? And of course, it's obvious that a Department of Defense entity is running this program. She's involved in this, and they use everybody in your ecosystem to create this false reality. I've understood that. Because the picture they were trying to paint made no sense. It couldn't even click. And then on top of that, finding out the reality and hearing the testimonials, it just destroyed this whole fantasy they created. Which, what's going to happen to me because of that is going to be horrible. They wanted me to perceive them as these protectors of children and women, when the truth is, it's the total opposite. They are the biggest threat to children and women. And they use even children in these disgusting ways. And parents, for whatever incentives, for whatever opportunity, are willing to sell their own babies, their own children, to these governmental entities that happen to have a lot of pedophilia issue. A lot of pedophilia issues. And I'm not saying that just to say that. There's literally clear evidence that the Department of Defense and other intelligence community in the United States intelligence community have had patterns of issues with pedophilia, to the point where a bill was passed in 2019 specifically to attempt to limit the amount of child porn DoD employees are downloading using the devices provided to them by the Department of Defense, by the Pentagon. This bill is supposed to limit the amount of child porn they're downloading using those devices given to them, because a child protective service entities named and ranked the DoD as the network with some of the most child porn being trafficked. They were ranked 19th out of 2,900. I'm saying that the problem is so big. Let me repeat, the problem is so big that it's not even them trying to attempt to stop the amount of pedophiles they hiring or employing. They are attempting to just stop the amount of child porn they're downloading using the devices the government gives them. Do you understand how disturbing this is? So I'm listening to that. This man and this kid, and now they get embarrassed. And matter of fact, there's somebody else, this big guy who's supposed to intimidate me. And I'm listening to him. It's like, I'm listening to reality. It's like, yeah, protect children, huh? He doesn't know where to look. He started doing his laundry and changing. So it's like, imagine people like this issue try to, and it's so disgusting. And Or earlier today, they were bringing up the things they make me experience and bringing up and say, no, we matched it. Remember when you and bring up the things that even in my childhood that they themselves manipulate me to experience in my memories, because obviously this technology is extremely sophisticated. I know what this is really about. The ability to completely manipulate a human being in every way, inclusive of even memories. And you see people like that, like children, like individuals, feeling so empowered by it. This kid she couldn't survive a month by herself. But can you imagine the empowerment of feeling like we can even control this person's memories? They can change him in every way possible. In not even just physically. That's easy. But mentally, literally rewiring his brain. This is godly stuff. This is basically being God. Completely restructure a human being cognitively. Not just physically. Anybody could be, this is the Department of Defense. They can have somebody break me down, break my bones. This is easy stuff. But cognitively, meaning making you be a person that you are not, or think like a person that you would not think like. Completely restructuring your memory, completely, and have logics that are just almost in a state of a spectrum. And you have childlike individual, and while I was putting laundry, you can see her, she's a black girl, because that's what I'm supposed to be. Oh, you know what, that's true. And they give me stimulation when I'm thinking about black girls. And making, like, they really have been conditioning me to make sense of that. Yeah, you say black girl and then you give me stimulation. That's what's happening. But you're conditioning it. They think I don't understand that what they're doing is altering my mind. Because this is what it's all about. These cognitive weapons are meant to redesign, reconstruct a human being's thoughts. Do you think I would have any doubt if you say black girls, if I was me normally, if I was me now being manipulated, I'd be like, stimulation? Of course not. But now, this is how my brain has been trained. That they literally stimulate me. This target individuals is simple. They are using human subject of all gender, all ages, all races to continuously improve on the technology on this point used on us as a weapon, as a cognitive weapon. And every time I bring things to reality, they're like, they're gonna rape you, they're gonna torture you. They deviate. They put things back in the different perspective so you can forget about reality. It's disturbing. But that's the reality. This is how sophisticated. I know how people can be easily compromised. But I know why they will be compromised in this way. They literally have children that can manipulate, or not manipulate, but be involved in the manipulation of a human's brain. So I know that I'll never be me, but to see in real time, this is the kids here, say black girl. I'm looking at her, like, do you think I'm going to subscribe to it? I know it can make me feel weird sensation and stimulation. This is what this technology can do to me, but look at you. You think I'm going to think of you, knowing, like, I'm going to think that you are the one who's going to tell me who I am? Look at you. You don't even know who you are. But now, because you say black girl, I can get stimulation because of the manipulation I'm experiencing. I'll never identify. I know who's running this program. I know why you guys do this. This is part of this cognitive warfare that we are used as test subjects. This personality that they've been creating and manipulating, and then now we're mapped, and you look at who's this. These people are ran by pedophiles. And they've been doing the pedophilia type of torture, and these manipulations has been continuously expressed by others who are target individuals, who literally say they make me, they do the pedophilia type of torture, they try to take over my brain and putting thoughts of pedophilia. That's the things they do. Mothers with children all of a sudden have perceptions or program of perversion toward children. There's no noise campaign that's going to change the reality. And on top of that, there's a bill called End National Defense Abuse Act. That's the bill I was talking about. This is real, 2019. And they have people that know what we're doing is your brain. We're mapping to you when you're a kid. You felt like that when you're a kid. What? Do you think I'm going to be like, you guys are making me think like a kid? Or you're not doing the pedophilia type of torture? That just caused somebody to kill 18 people. 4 months ago. A man shot out a whole bowling alley where there's a bunch of kids there. He was saying that the voices in his brain, which in this case, he's 40 years old, by the way. So by 40 years old, schizophrenia, if you haven't had any symptom prior to that, by 40, it's most likely his voice to skull, which I know his voice to skull. And they're calling him a pedophile. You know what he did? So, okay. Goes there. Bowling alley. Bowling place. Kid nights. Youth nights. Kid leagues. A bunch of kids. He shot up the place. 18 people died. Not the first one saying the same thing before shooting up a place. You think black girls, I'm going to identify to this manipulation? Because you say black girls and all of a sudden my brain warms up and I get stimulations? Which obviously is being manipulated by technology that can manipulate and alter the mind. And they've been doing that since day one. And they want me to subscribe. Like, no, but that's how you felt with black girls. Like, no, this is how you've been conditioning my brain. This is the personality you've been creating. And then saying, no, but you know how we do it? Our reference is you as a child in middle school. What? Your reference is when my brain is developing? These people are delusional. Delusional. No. You've been looking at how you can manipulate me and make me accept of this. They analyze the ways they can manipulate you the most efficiently. Right, but once they get you to get this reaction, they try to rationalize this manipulation by saying, no, remember when you were a kid. Now I keep bringing up this inappropriate act of me when I was a child. It happened once. That's what a child is capable of doing. And I don't need to be a genius to understand that a child at that age has the impulsiveness of and capable of doing this thing. But because it only happened once, guess what they're doing? Wherever they can try to implant sensation stimulation, they do that. In my memories, even younger. And they were bringing up a moment when I would try to, here, I was in the same building that you see here. Going to the elevator. And it's so sad. Because to me, kids are wholesome and they can bring a smile to me. And it's just, but now has turned into something nasty, sexual, and disturbing to me. It's now something that I detest, meaning seeing children. Now, because this program is gonna torment me by forcing me to get sexual stimulation. So there's this time I'm going to the elevator. I see 2 little kids, and there's this little girl. She's adorable. She's really trying to pick and see who I was, and she's like laughing. It's like in my brain, they make me feel stimulation. Like, no, but you feel like that when you were a kid. It's like, what the trash? What? Can you imagine telling a 30-some-year-old that no, the way you feel like that, you felt like that when you were a kid. You see, we mapped you to you when you're what? I'm like, imagine that you're talking to the father of these children. He's like, no, we're mapping your brain when you were like in middle school. What? He will look at you like, what did this guy say? Imagine people like that, children like that. Be the one now we mapped it is you. No shame. And so in my brain, it's like, how do we make you feel like that? You make me feel like that because you're manipulating my brain. And then saying that's, and the things with the brain and how they manipulate you, it's like they take things, little things, and then change it up. So they're even rewiring your memories and what you actually experience as a child. So even the things they try to take from that is from your childhood is rewired in different ways with a new version of it, with and implant that into you when you're an adult. It's so weird. But that's what they do. To make you acceptive of this illogicalness. That no, what we're doing is we're mapping you to as a child. What? Can you imagine to convince somebody that you're not being manipulated? It's like, no, what we're doing, we're making you think the way you thought when you were a kid. And be very serious about it. It's like, what? Just imagine, like, you an adult. You're a grown-ass man, grown-ass woman. Well, I'm going to make your brain be a brain of a child. Do you know how stupid you're going to feel? Me saying that alone embarrasses me. What? That alone is just illogical. Now, on top of that, my brain, it's not even my brain when they even manipulate my memories as a child, give me these weird feelings in my childhood. And some of the child goes as young as even 9 years old, 10 years old. It's crazy. There's no limit of how they can oh no, you felt like that when you were 8 years old. And it's disgusting. In every way they try to manipulate me. They're like, no, there is something. Yes, there is something. There's people manipulate my brain and tell me this is what you experienced when you were a child. I wonder what it is. These people who've done that to many people, to many other target individual, who've done that to women with children. And it's like, no, and they really try to be serious. No, there is something. Yes, I wonder what it is. What would make me react this way? They want me to look at them, and inclusive of a child like that, to be like, no, what we're doing is now we're reviewing your brain and we're saying there's something weird there. And then, yes, the thing that's weird is that there's people who are working day in and day out to manipulate you to have this reaction toward children. And they've done that to so many others. By the way, the entities, like I said, that run this program, they're so fucking pedophilia-centric, excuse my language, that there's a bill that attempts to limit the amount of child porn they're downloading using the government devices specifically. And they're like, now there's something. Yes, there's some people working for some kind of governmental entities that are in my brain, and those people working for these governmental entities have been doing this pedophilia type of torture to so many others, and they're in my brain doing, guess what? Now the pedophilia type of torture that they've done to others. Target individual. This is so disgusting. But that's their job. Now, you heard what I just said. Can you imagine people who want to take themselves serious and be respected? What do you think is going to happen to me? Because of this humiliating reality. I can bring right now testimonies of women saying exactly what I'm saying. It's going to be shocking. Can you imagine people like that in their car saying, no, there's something. You're right. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it is. What entities and governmental entities and individuals are in my brain? What have they done for years? What consistent tactics have they utilized to degrade a human being? Mentally, physically, and psychologically? Has a pedophilia type of torment have ever been utilized? I wonder. In my brain, what they're doing, they make me think, oh, but you remember you felt like that with this little girl. No, you're making me feel that like right now. But on top of that, you talk about me as a child. As this is your reference. Your falsified reference too. As I have a reference from grown-ass men and women saying they do the pedophilia type of torture, I have a reference that the entity that do these things have truly issues with pedophilia. You want a reference about that? Type in End National Defense Abuse Act in 2019. Oh, search Child Protective Service ranking of DOD network in 2018 for child porn. Oh, another reference, type in Robert Card mass shooting in Maine. What was he saying? Oh, okay. Go type in this man called Robert Duncan. No torture. No torture. Look at number 6. Go see Mariana Maritato testimony in 2018. Go in 32 minutes 40 seconds. No, go into Jackie testimony in 2011. Oh, guess what? Type in Aaron Young. Aaron Young. I wonder what happened to him. Okay, go into the bioethics 2011 testimony. Look for Catherine Nestor. Catherine Nestor and her young child. Oh, look for Operation Flicker in 2007. Okay, no. Look for the BuzzFeed article about the CIA and the patterns. Okay. Your reference is me as a child, which is a falsified reference when you manipulate my reaction, my memories of my childhood. As I was saying that, they'll tell me how I'm going to be tattooed and tortured. It's like, yeah, I understand. You've been too humiliated. You have grown-ass men and women tell me that what they're doing is they mapped it, meaning they use a reference of me as a child to make me react to how I'm experiencing today as a grown man. I just brought up the testimonies of men and women who said the same things. The mass shooting that just happened 4 months ago, causing 18 people to die. Another child got shot in the leg. The man said the exact same thing about like voice to skull, saying he called it voices, calling him a pedophile. Typical things they do. A grown-ass woman with children saying they do this program perversion and aimed at her children. She has children. A whole bill called National Defense Abuse Act that was passed in 2019 to attempt to limit the amount of child porn the DoD employees are downloading using devices given to them by the Pentagon. This trash web mapping is you. And you have children like that with their parents next to them. Their parents know that if I look at this kid, they're going to force me to get sexual stimulation because this technology can falsify arousal. They can make you have a arousal that you will not experience naturally. The father is right next, hoping that you look at his child. Do you understand how compromised they are? They sold their soul to pedophiles. Death comes to all of us. I know it's going to be a horrible death for me because they've been humiliated by reality. And on top of that, I keep bringing that in their faces and they hated that. So now they talk about tattoos and talk. And the longer I'm here, the more nastiness I'm going to find out about what they're part of. Well, they're forcing me to get some reaction that I can literally feel my brain warming up, doing things to me, which means that my brain is being manipulated to experience these things. Human beings don't get manipulated and then you be like, oh, no, it's you. No, we made your brain think like, what? Does it even make sense? Of course it doesn't, but your job is to make sense of it. Because you are part of this program, which is it's a program that literally cognitively manipulates you. But according to Robert Robert Duncan, as he mentioned, the future warfare will not be people bombing each other. It'll be who can manipulate who cognitively. It'll be a cognitive warfare. And we are the test subject of this. So what they're going to do? They're going to alter the mind and they're going to do this personality rebuild, as he called it. I never talked to this person in my life. Why is he saying that? Why is he saying that they're rebuilding? Because that's what I was saying. Conditioning your brain. That's the things I've been saying. That they condition you, like they're training your brain to think this way. Manipulating you to say, no, but you see, you felt like that. And training your brain 24/7 to become this personality they want you to be. And as I'm saying that, they tell me how they're going to wait for me, they're going to do this. Because guess how they're going to frame me? What's the most consistent things they've been doing? In a pedophilia way. In every ways, they are compromised in the most disturbing ways. I'd rather jump in fire, fry and scream than having to live in a luxury life that they live right now. Working for this government. Listen, I'm not spiritual. Well, I am I am spiritual. I do believe in God, but I don't want to bring that into this because this is very much technological. But this feels also spiritual. You have this childlike, cowardly life, who doing the foulest things with the utmost ease. They're wearing sweatpants. They're wearing PJs. You look at this childlike individual. But at what price? This is something you can see in the Bible. That the foulest things will be easily done. As in, the temptations of doing bad things will be so easy. But it will be a price. Now is the price, humiliation. And it seems like it's more like humiliating reality. Today, I can bring up mass shootings, children being tortured, sex, in all kind of horrible things, torturing infants, 3-week-old. 3-week-old being in every the atrocities at all levels. They don't want to be seen by me anymore. They don't, because I associate them with these atrocities because they're involved in a program that does these things. I don't even children like them. I know they groom this shit to be doing that to women and children. Because it's easy. A child can be involved in this program. And it's easy to look first of all, the intellect of a child like that, what you going to expect? You can coerce them to do anything. To the point where the father is there. She's looking at me and smiling and trying to look, ugh, trash. If I unblur this, you could see how this kid is just staring at me and smiling and just trying to, as if like she's trying to like, what? You nasty trash. I'm not looking at her. I don't know she's doing that to me. But my camera is pointing there. And I see her just like looking at me, smiling. It's like, oh my gosh, she's so nasty. And the dad is right next to her. Trashiness. To all target individual, find yourself dignified that you are not the one compromised to this level. They had the choice to do whatever they want. But they got compromised in ways there's no coming back from. I know, that being said, I know I'm the one who's going to go through some suffering. But I'm telling you, there's a dignity in my sufferings that they will never even acquire. To all my target individuals, stay strong.